Well, I love my wife. She's incredible.
Yeah.
A great mother.
Yeah.
The kids are healthy and happy, and of course, there's nothing more than that.
He was Hollywood's ultimate leading man, Richard Gere. From American Gigolo to Pretty Woman, he lit up the screen with effortless charm and raw intensity. But then, he vanished. No scandals, no farewell, just silence. Why would a man with everything walk away from fame? What was he protecting? And what did he leave behind? The truth will surprise you. Richard Gere didn't disappear in defeat. He stepped away with purpose. And what he left behind is not just a fortune, but a legacy that will move you to tears. Stay with us as we uncover the stunning reason Richard Gere walked away from Hollywood for good. Born in 1949 near Syracuse, New York, Gere grew up in a modest, working-class home. His father sold insurance. His mother was a homemaker. Life was quiet, simple, centered around discipline, music, and values. He wasn't dreaming of red carpets. He played the trumpet, trained in gymnastics, and read philosophy. He believed in deeper things, the kind most people overlook in pursuit of success. He attended the University of Massachusetts Amherst on a scholarship, majoring in philosophy and theater. But after 2 years, he left. Not because he failed, because he didn't need a degree to live a life that felt true. He poured himself into acting. Small theaters in Seattle and New York, nameless roles, auditions that led nowhere. He kept showing up, kept believing that one day, even his silence would be heard. In 1975, he landed a role as a blindfolded death row inmate in a stage production. With only his voice, he had to command the audience. And he did. That performance showed what made Gere different. His power wasn't in how he looked or sounded. It was in the weight of his presence. Then came 1980. John Travolta turned down a provocative role. Richard Gere took it. The film was American Gigolo. He played an upscale escort, raw and unapologetic. It wasn't just a breakthrough. It was an awakening. The camera loved him. The world fell for him. And suddenly, he wasn't a rising star. He was the moment. Then came An Officer and a Gentleman, Pretty Woman, and Primal Fear. Each role deepened his legend. He became the face of a generation, not loud but unforgettable, not forced but magnetic. But even at the peak of his fame, he chose roles with meaning. While other actors chased blockbusters, he starred in Bent, a powerful stage play about gay prisoners during the Holocaust. He took on complex characters, a corrupt cop in Internal Affairs, a morally conflicted lawyer in Primal Fear, a reformed IRA operative in The Jackal. His performance in Chicago brought him back into awards conversations, earning him a Golden Globe. Still, he was never nominated for an Oscar. But Gere never acted for trophies. He acted to explore the human condition. His body of work, over 50 films, proves that. As his fame soared, he started stepping back. Not from acting, but from the world around it. He bought a peaceful estate in Pound Ridge, New York, a 50-acre retreat with forests, horse trails, stables, and streams. No paparazzi, no buzz, just quiet. He expanded the land over decades, turning it into a sanctuary, and then, in 2022, he sold it. No announcement, just gone. He invested in a boutique hotel, the Bedford Post Inn, with only 8 rooms, a place for yoga, organic meals, and solitude. No VIP parties, just peace. He also produced his own wine in Tuscany, a Brunello di Montalcino, under the Bedford Post label. It wasn't a commercial project. It was a personal rhythm, a meditation in a bottle. His car collection was modest but refined. Classic Jaguars, a Mercedes-Benz R107, a rare Lotus Esprit. No Lamborghinis, no over-the-top supercars. Just timeless machines driven in private, not flaunted for cameras. In 2023, he auctioned one off to support Ukrainian war victims. And then he did something few stars ever do. He let it all go. He sold his estates in New York and Connecticut. A plan to build a self-sustaining farm on 27 acres was abandoned. The properties were listed and gone without a sound. And quietly, Richard Gere left America. He didn't head for London or Paris. He moved to Alcobendas, a suburb just outside Madrid, Spain, a place of trees, space, and silence. He purchased a villa with 34 acres, a wine cellar, horse stables, an open land where his sons could run free. His reason? His wife. In 2018, Richard Gere married Alejandra Silva, a Spanish activist and humanitarian who, despite being decades younger, shared his deep commitment to making a difference in the world. Their connection wasn't built on status or spectacle. It was rooted in values, mutual respect, and a desire to live with purpose. Together, they didn't build an empire. They built something far more meaningful, a family. In 2019, at the age of 70, Gere became a father again with the birth of their first son. A second son followed in 2020. But this chapter of fatherhood was different. There were no press tours, no film sets pulling him away. This time, Gere was fully present, changing diapers, reading bedtime stories, strolling through gardens, and simply being there for every smile and scraped knee. No nannies, no assistants, just a father choosing presence over performance. He once said, "My wife gave me 6 years in my world. Now I'll live in hers." And he meant it. Gere sold his longtime properties, stepped away from the US, and moved his family to Spain. He still owns an apartment in New York, one Jimmy Fallon helped him find, and once sold a Southampton home for $36 million. But those are just echoes of a life he no longer lives. Today, Gere's estimated $120 million fortune quietly fuels charities, not luxury. He funds Tibet House US, the GE Foundation, and Survival International. He's been banned from China for standing with the Dalai Lama and shunned by Hollywood for being too political. But he never backed down. His study doesn't hold Oscars. It holds Tibetan scrolls, sacred texts, and relics that speak to the soul. In 2024, he and Alejandra hosted 35 family members for Christmas, even as she grieved her grandmother. He told her to keep the tradition alive, to become the heart of the family, because that's the legacy he believes in. He spends most of his days with his sons, walking with them through the gardens of their Madrid estate, reading to them under the Spanish sun, and showing up for every small moment that childhood holds. His mornings begin in silence, with meditation. No rush, no chaos. He tends to his garden, works with his hands, and lives without the constant presence of screens or noise. When he speaks with someone, he looks them in the eyes. The phone stays down, because Richard Gere isn't just living, he's present. His oldest son, Homer, born in 2000 from a previous marriage, remains an important part of his life. Despite the years and the changing seasons, the bond between them is strong. Homer visits often, joins the family for milestones, and quietly supports his father's humanitarian work. Between Homer and his 2 young sons born with Alejandra, Gere now spans 3 generations of fatherhood, and remarkably, he's been fully present for them all. Gere no longer seeks legacy through headlines. He's already living it, in the laughter of his children, the causes he supports, and the choices he makes. He's done chasing roles that glorify older male sexuality. Instead, he chooses thoughtful, intimate films like Norman, Time Out of Mind, and Arbitrage. Characters that wrestle with real emotions, not illusions. At 74, he doesn't need to perform to be seen. In his stillness, he's never been more powerful. He didn't disappear, he evolved. Because sometimes the quietest life is the loudest statement of all. And in doing so, he's left us with a powerful question. Would you trade fame for peace? Would you walk away from everything just to come home to yourself? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss a story that truly matters.